Hello folks, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods, here today in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom. And today we're going to go over our newest addition to our inventory, this beautiful 1970 Chevy El Camino here. Now as you can see here, our car done here in the basically the triple black here. So you're going to have the black on the outside of the car, the black vinyl top, and the black interior. Now it is kind of accentuated here with the white stripes up over top of the steel cowl induction hood here, but again, that's just a really nice look on this all black car otherwise. You'll notice it's got the cowl induction emblems up here on the hood. It does in fact have the hood pins here also on the hood. However, that's not the only method to hold the hood down. It does have the regular hood latch on it, and we'll show you that here in a little bit as we work our way around the car. Our car here, all of the bright work on this car is in really good condition. We're going to start here by calling out the wheel lip moldings here. These are nice and straight, no dents or dings, all attached as they should be, all four corners of the car. And then as far as the wheels and tires go, these would probably be like well, obviously they're the factory style SS wheels, but probably the original wheels for this car. 14-inch, got the beauty rings and the center caps with the SS emblem in the middle. And then as far as the tires go, these are going to be the same size and same tire all the way around the car, 235/60 R14s on all four corners, and those of course are the Cobra Radial GTs, as you can see there on the sidewall. Tread on those things are in great shape. As a matter of fact, here once we get the car up in the air, we're going to show you that tread so you can see for yourself there how good a condition it is. On our El Camino here, obviously we've got the badging here also on the front fender, El Camino SS 396, and that is going to give away exactly what's underneath that hood. As we take a look at our doors here, our elevations, our gaps and so forth here, nice tight gaps front and rear. You'll see it does have the door edge molding here to kind of help protect that. Elevations are very good with the front fender and the bed sides here basically. As we look at more of our bright work here, we can see we've got a driver's side mirror. Again, that chrome is in great shape. The glass is in good condition too. As far as all of our moldings here, you see you've got your rain gutter moldings here, all of your trim around your window here and so forth, all in great shape. There's no dents, no dings, no pitting. Even on the door handle here, the chrome finish is in really good condition there. Glass, the wing window and your door glass there, no chips or cracks anywhere there. Looks to be in really good condition. And again, slightly tinted on those windows. Let's go ahead and open up here. We'll take a look at the inside next. Interior, all black. You'll notice it's got the front bucket seats with the headrest. No rips or tears in any of the seat upholstery. The carpeting, all black. No rips, tears, or fading there. Of course, you've got your SS dash in there, but the gauges have been changed out. They have gone with a set of Dakota digital RetroTech gauges. So that's going to be really nice whenever you get in this car. You're going to have the modern style gauges in there to look at and help with your readings inside the car. You see the full length center console there, complete with the horseshoe shifter, and it does look like it's got an aftermarket AM/FM cassette player in there as well. Door panels and so forth, those are in great shape too. Your armrest, there's no splits on the top there like you normally see with some of the older cars. Everything looks like it's been maintained and conditioned very well in the car. And then of course all of your weather stripping here on your door, nice and soft all the way around here. Probably newer stuff. The doors close really good and tight on the car, so no rips or tears on anything there. Got your little rubber bump stops also. So we'll close this up. Again, it shuts good and solid there, nice and tight. And then we'll continue kind of with our walk around. So again, we've got the black vinyl top here. All of your stitching and your seams and so forth are in great condition on this car. No rips or tears anywhere. I always feel through the rain gutter here. and around all of the edges there where your trim work is on these vinyl top cars. And this car is super smooth all the way around. Not only do you have this nice shiny black paint on this car, but also down here on the rockers and partially up on the doors here and your truck bed sides and so forth, you do have chip guard, and it's, you know, again, it's been on there. That's going to protect the bottom of those all those panels there from any rocks and so forth. Again, just kind of a unique idea that somebody had there that really works well. As far as the rear glass in the car, same thing, no chips, cracks there either. All of your molding, your trim work around there is in great shape, all fixed as it should be, you know, all mounted down as it should be correctly there. You can see all your bright work along the top of the bed rails here. Those are in great shape, nice and polished. Don't see any no pitting or anything on any of that. The sides of this, super smooth all the way back and down the sides of the car. Your exhaust does poke out right before or right behind the rear tires on the car. It's at 2.5-inch exhaust, and I'll give you some more specs on that here as we walk around. As far as the rear of the vehicle here, again, paint is in great condition. All your trim work is nice condition here as well. No dents or dings anywhere. All of your trim work here, super polished up here, including your rear bumpers there, all looks good. Of course, you've got the SS badging down here, 396. All of your lighting and so forth back here. The bezels around your taillights, the lenses, bezels around your backup lights and lenses, all of that is in great shape. There's no chips or cracks in any of the lenses, and the bezels, no pitting that I can see at all. Everything looks to be polished up very nice. Now, the previous individual, it looks like they probably used the bed a little bit to do what in fact it was meant for. That was probably to haul some things. So we'll go ahead and open this up, lay it down. That way you can get to see the true condition of everything. So again, it's all solid back here, but like I said, you can tell that they used it, you know, to haul a few things around. Again, nothing wrong with that on a vehicle like this. You can see the tailgate is tethered here, so it doesn't drop down any further than what it should. So we'll go ahead and close this back up. Again, it latches nice and solid there, and we'll continue our walk around. So again, now on the passenger side, again, looking down the side of the car, especially with black, I mean, black shows every imperfection, and this car is super, super smooth down the sides of the car here. As we come up again, just kind of take notice of all the things that we've already talked about, the wheel lip moldings, the wheels, the tires. As we get up here now to our vinyl top, again, we want to check and make sure that that is smooth all the way around, which it is down in the bottom edges here, all the way up around our rain gutters here, nice and smooth. Again, those drip rail moldings, the trim work around the glass here, the top of the door, all of which is in great shape. Door handle over here is in great shape. No pitting there at all. As far as your gaps here on the passenger side, again, nice tight gaps here. Elevations are really good on this car too, all the way around. Again, the matching chip guard down here too. You probably can't even tell it in the video, but when you get up on top of it here and get real close to it, you can see that chip guard. But again, they did a really nice job at doing that. We're going to open the door up now from the passenger side and check out the interior now from this angle. Again, you'll just notice that the dash, there's no cracks in the dash. Door panels are in great shape. The armrests on the door panels, same thing. No rips or tears in any of the upholstery. The full-length center console again. The SS style dash there with the Dakota digital RetroTech gauges. Again, weather stripping even over on this side, super soft all the way around here, no rips or tears, rubber bump stops. Again, that's going to all seal up good. And in fact, you're going to be safe in this car too, because it does have seat belts for both the driver and passenger side. and they are retractable seat belts. As we come up now towards the front, working our way up that direction, we've got the matching emblems and badging here, the El Camino SS396, the Cowl induction up there on the hood, and again, just kind of checking out the wheels and the tires as we walk around. Now as we get to the front end, this is what you're going to see here. This is, you know, just remind you of a 1970 Chevelle. In this case, we've got a 1970 El Camino. Same front end. You've got your quad lights up here, so you got your high beams, low beams, traditional seal beam units, glass lenses, no chips or cracks in any of those. Your bezels around all your headlights there are in great condition. The grille is in great shape too. The SS emblem, the nicely polished up chrome front bumper there as well. Back to our hood now, you'll see in fact it does have the hood pins, and they are tethered there. You see the stripes up over top of the hood that sets the car off real nice. You come up here, you see the flapper. This is a functional flapper here in your Cowl induction hood. Windshield itself is in great shape. All your trim work around there, all attached as it should be, nice and tight, nicely polished up there also. Even the bright work around the edges of the hood and fenders here and so forth is in great condition. So what we'll do next is we're going to go underneath the hood. So let's pull those hood pins out. And you'll notice the hood does not pop up when I pull these out. That's because, like I said, it does have the regular latch on it as well. So you've got your release right underneath here. You can hear it and you see it work. So we're going to go ahead and raise that up. So now that we got our steel 2-inch cowl up in the air here, you'll see the underside, all the bracing, all intact, done here in black. You can see the provision for the air cleaner. You can see the gasket that goes around the air cleaner assembly so that it all seals up around there. Of course, we've got a chrome air cleaner with the 396 badging there or decal on it. Work our way back here to the hood. The hood hinges and the springs all functioning as they should also. Now this engine here that's in this car, it is in fact a 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet motor. We've checked the numbers and so forth. We can clearly say that it is a date correct motor, but we were unable to find a partial VIN on it. So that's what we'll do. We just call it out as a date correct 396 motor. Now again, you see the correct air cleaner assembly here. Underneath that, you do have a Quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor. You also have the cast intake, heads, and the cast manifolds also. Again, you see everything's painted up nice and neat there. All of your hoses are run nice and neat, in great condition. These hoses, you know, again, we always check everything, make sure we don't see any, you know, any old hoses or anything that could cause problems. These seem all fresh. All of your clamps are in great shape. No leaks anywhere at all around this engine whatsoever. The radiator is like a stock OE style radiator. You see the top hose with the kind of the original style clamps here also, all nice and dry around all those fittings. Nice set of chrome big block Chevy valve covers there also. The alternator, they've got it looking nice underneath here. The belts, everything, all been checked out and everything's in great shape. Even got the shroud here with the kind of the clutch style fan here on the car. This is a power brake as well as power steering car. It's disc up front, drums out on the rear, all complete with the emergency brake all hooked up and functioning. Power steering, like I said. And then once we go underneath the car, you're going to see things on it like the sway bar up front. It's got a big 1-inch sway bar. That's going to help this car handle so much whenever you have it out on the roads there driving it around. Behind this motor, we've got an automatic transmission. It is a turbo 400 automatic transmission. And then, of course, for the rear end, it is a 12-bolt GM rear end, 343 gear ratio with the POSI unit in there. So again, the driveline in this thing, it's going to make this an incredible car for you to take out, cruise around. But yet with the big block, you're going to have plenty of torque to do whatever it is that you want to do in this vehicle. As I always tell everybody, if you are viewing this video video from someplace other than our website, I always ask that you go to our website, www.hanksters.com, and check the car out there. There you're going to find upwards of 100 photos of this car, along with the video you're watching. You're also going to see the retail pricing, what all that includes. You're also going to see all of the options and so forth for this particular car. Now the retail pricing, that's going to include enclosed shipping to anywhere within the 48 contiguous states. It's also going to include our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. What that means is basically with the engine, transmission, and rear end, all internally lubricated parts within those. If anything goes wrong, if you have any issues, we just ask that you give us a call. We'll supply you with the contract, but we ask that you give us the call, read through it, and then we'll be glad to walk you through the process if you have anything come up like that. You should never have anything come up, but in the event that you do have that as a safety net. Again, these cars are checked out and they're running and driving great before they are ever put back out to the next owner. Now, with that said, the only other thing that we always go over is if there's any additional parts or accessories that you'd like to add to this car. If there is, just reach out to us by phone, email, or text. Let us know what those parts or accessories might be, and we'll be glad to get you pricing on parts and labor to have that particular thing installed, whatever that may be. With that said, we're all done with our walk around on the exterior of the car. Give us a minute now. We're going to close things up, get this up on our lift, and we'll take you through a walkthrough on the complete underside of the car, as well as fire this big block Chevy up and let you hear what that motor sounds like. All right, guys, we finally got our 70 El Camino here up on the rack. We're going to go through this as we do every one of our cars here. I'm going to tell you about everything that I see underneath here, which, just giving it a quick look over here prior to the video, this car is really, really nice underneath here. So we'll get started with it. So starting at the front, I always kind of take a look at all the components that I can see. First and foremost is going to be the radiator here across the bottom. So again, nice and dry, free from leaks or drips all the way across the bottom. Even at the lower radiator hose here, I do not see any wetness whatsoever around the clamps, the hoses, anything. Of course, we've got that fan shroud there, the plastic shroud, and it is all intact. No pieces broke. Doesn't appear as though it's ever rubbed on the fan blade anywhere. The fan itself is the clutch fan there. I believe a 7-blade fan on that. Moving back just a little bit further here, we'll go ahead and talk about our suspension and steering and so forth, and then we'll get into the drive line. But on the suspension here, we've got the 1-inch front sway bar here. Good stout sway bar. That's going to help this car corner. As far as the sway bar bushings at the frame and the sway bar end links, those are all in really good condition on this car. Moving back a little bit further here, our cross member, very important piece of the car. This is nice and straight, no dents or dings whatsoever, as you can see in the video. Again, important because this is what all your suspension bolts off of. So you want to make sure these things are good and straight and appear to never been hit. As far as the suspension arms themselves, your upper and lower control arms, these are just your factory OE style stamped steel components here. Those all look nice. As far as the bushings at your mounts here, and as far as your ball joints go, everything looks good on this car. Ball joints and such have all been checked out. Alignment's been checked out on the car here also. And everything looks to be greased and maintained here very well. As far as our shocks and our springs, again, everything looks well here. Your mounting hardware for your shocks, the bushings here for your shocks, those are all in great shape. Now this car is a power steering car, so of course with our steering components, we always want to check out our pitman arm, our drag length here, and then our tie rods, both the rods themselves and the tie rod ends here, the ball joints out at the ends there, and everything looks very well here. All your little rubber dust boot covers are all intact, so that's going to keep that grease in, keep everything lubricated, and again, you can tell everything's been maintained very well on this car. Now, it's power steering, power brakes as well. Now, this car has the disc brakes up front, drums out on the rear, and as far as the disc brakes go, this is just going to be your typical just stock OE style stuff here. So you'll be able to go to any of your auto parts stores whenever it comes time for your consumables like your rotors and your brake pads. That stuff's all going to be easily attainable there through your auto parts store. As far as the wheels and tires, again, I know you've seen it when we did our walk around video, but again, it does have a nice set of Cobra Radial GT tires on it. They are 235/60 R14s. Again, that is a 14-inch wheel all the way around the car, and the wheels themselves are in fact the SS style or the Magnum 500 style wheel, complete with the beauty rings and those SS center caps. Tread, like I said, is in excellent condition on these tires on all four corners. We'll move into the center of the car now. We'll talk a little bit about the driveline here as we work our way back. So of course, our big block here, that 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet engine. I'm looking at the oil pan underneath here, up where the seal, the gaskets and so forth are, and the drain plug, making sure that everything is nice and dry, and it is in fact on this car. So no leaks, no drips whatsoever. We slide back a little bit further here. We've got our turbo 400 automatic transmission. The pan itself is in great shape. No leaks or drips all the way around, nice and dry. Tranny lines here are all nice and dry as well. And then we come back to the tail of the transmission, and that output shaft seal where your slip yoke slides into it, that is nice and dry also. You can see the transmission cross member, nice and straight across here. The actual mount itself looks to be in great shape, along with all the hardware there as well. Before we get too far back, we'll work our way back to the exhaust. Obviously, you can see that here running back through the car. It starts here at our cast exhaust manifolds. Then we have a full 2.5-inch exhaust all the way back to a set of Xlerator turbo mufflers. And then, of course, it does have a set of tailpipes on it that is going to work its way up over top of the rear end, and then I believe those exit right underneath the rear quarter, and we'll check that out as we get back there. Next, frame and floors on this car. Of course, like the Chevelles, the El Caminos, and so forth, all full frame cars, and you can see how nice the frame rails are on this car. Super straight, super clean all the way back. The floors, the same thing. Again, I see no patching, no piecework whatsoever. It's got all of the correct metal underneath here, and you can see all the stamping lines, all of your bracing for your floor and so forth, all intact and in excellent condition. As far as out here at the sides, your pinch welds and your rockers, the pinch welds are straight and the rockers are good and solid down both sides. Then we move back in more of our driveline stuff here. So again, we've got our steel drive shaft here. It is balanced and weighted here, as you can see underneath. That's going to eliminate any of your driveline vibration that you might incur with this car. Again, the big block Chevy, you've got lots of power there, lots of torque there, so that's going to help with that. Our rear end here, this is going to be a GM 12-bolt rear. It is a POSI unit, 343 gear ratio inside there. Universals have all been checked out, made sure everything's good there. The front snout, nice and dry on this. And then when we work our way to the back side there, we'll look at that diff cover and make sure that that is good and dry. Also, we can see all of our cables here for our emergency brake. That is in fact all hooked up, all the correct stuff, and functional too on this vehicle. Again, brake lines and fuel lines and such, all routed, super nice and neat, right along both frame rails here. Again, this car is really nice underneath. And I keep saying car, but I guess technically it's actually a truck with the bed on it here, being an El Camino. So we'll work our way now towards the rear here. As far as the rear suspension goes, again, this is going to be just your typical stock stuff back here. So you've got your control arms, both the lowers and the uppers. Again, that would be what they consider the metric 4-link here on the car. Those are very nice and straight on both sides. You've got the coil springs again. Those are in good condition as well. Shocks, you can see shocks look to be fairly new. The actual mounting hardware, the bushings and so forth with the shocks, those are all in great condition too. As I mentioned there, that differential cover there on the 12-bolt rear, nice and dry all the way around. Same thing with all of our brake lines here, run across the rear end here going out to those rear drum brakes. Everything super dry on this car. As I mentioned with the exhaust there, you do see the tailpipes now a little bit better now up over top of the rear end, and yes, exiting right after the rear tires there, right underneath the quarter panels on the car. As far as the rear sections of the frame go, same thing, super straight, super square on this vehicle. A very nice fuel tank here, as you can see, no dents or dings. Mounting hardware is in great condition on this. As we look up and look at that bottom of the bed flooring there, again, good and solid everywhere that I look up and see there. Just excellent condition on this car here all the way around. And again, I've already gone over the wheels and tires. Same thing back here, the Cobra Radial GTs, 235/60 R14s on those SS style wheels or the Magnum 500 style wheel. Again, just excellent condition on everything that I see underneath here. So with that said, we'll go ahead and lower our El Camino now. We're going to go ahead underneath the hood, let you see what that big block Chevrolet motor looks like underneath here. Not that you haven't seen it already, but we'll let you see it while it's actually running too. That way you get to see it, hear it, and see what it sounds like here with this dual 2.5-inch exhaust.